Welcome to this year's Surefire Fireworks 4th of July season. We're here in Lebanon, Tennessee, putting together one of the many tents we have throughout the mid-state region. What we're going to do is take you through a step-by-step kind of instruction on how to put corners of tables together with the legs and the straight edges of the table. And we'll go ahead and start with step one.
Step one, we'll be putting all of your tables together and laying out your patterns.
Alright, so we're already inside the tent. We're starting to line up the boards now, trying to figure out a nice even configuration to give the most walking space for families when they walk in. You see, we're actually going to have one little spot where we're going to keep open for the actual operators to be able to walk in and out. But the rest will be evened up pretty well. So I'm going to start moving some boards here. Bring that up here.
And be sure when you're doing this, you definitely give enough walking space between the edge of your table and the tent pole so your customer has ample room to get through.
Alright, so what we have right now is a basic pattern where all of our tables are laid out so we know exactly where they're going to go and how much space we need for people to walk. What we're going to show you first is how to exactly put a corner together. And do it so there's no edges hanging off, so when you put some product down, it's not going to weigh it down or risk breaking the actual leg off the table. So my good business partner right here is going to help me put this together. So what we're going to do first is we're going to hold that up like that. Actually, we're going to, let's turn this around. I think that was my fault. So
Okay.
Hold like so.
So then the little parts need to be facing outward, the little bridge parts.
All right, so we got the actual idea for the corner laid out here. You're going to use one of the big screws you get in your bag, and one will actually just hold them together. So you're going to want to flush each side up right here with each other. And you just right down the center. Make sure you got your screw gun. Put some weight on that, please, sir. Like that. And there you have it. Alright, so we got the corner piece made. It's like in an L shape. And at the end over here, you're going to go ahead and get somebody holding your base up there. So I'm going to tell you to come in here in a second. But you're going to take your piece of plywood and you're going to line it up here and go ahead and just line it up on here. You want the sides to be flush with the edges so you have no extra sticking up over here. And then come around here and I'll show you. Let's move your side over just a little bit.
Yeah, be sure you're lining your tabletops up flush with your legs.
And you want enough room on each side so you can put another table going that way to be able to screw in there.
All tables share one leg, so be sure you're leaving space to screw two tabletops into one leg.
Well, as you see here, we've got the table already screwed together. One thing that is missing from this table right here is a middle support. You do not, I repeat, you do not want to put any product on a table that has no middle support because the table will break. It's only plywood. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a third leg. And we're going to raise this up. And put said leg right in the middle here. Support. And all you really need for this right here is one screw down the middle, and that'll hold it. So you're going to kind of line it up, and you can. In, and that is your first table right there. And you're just going to keep going down the line. And for this side right here, you're just going to connect your next table to these posts here and keep the process going like you're doing a straight line of tables.
You can usually do this process with just two people if you have one person putting a leg underneath while the other person is lifting once you get your corner completed, because then it just becomes straight down the line. But you can see how it bows in the center. That's why you need that third support. And like we said, two tabletops share one leg. And if you guys get any tables where you notice that the corners are sort of sloughed off of, then just go in a little closer on your screws. That's an easy way to fix that.
Two screws for each side.
Two screws for each side.
Sorry about our lighting here. So let's kind of
So again, be sure you're leaving room to screw your next table into it.
Then you're going to get your third little support.
Just slip that underneath and screw one screw to the middle of it.
So you want to even it up on that side just a bit? Let's see, just move it there.
Starting with the corner, if you can master that, the rest of it is very simple. So I'm going to give you just a second to be able to kind of look at a corner and see how we put it together. And how we just keep going. Straight on down the line. And you'll notice what we mentioned earlier, we did leave a gap. That way you as a tent operator can get in and out of the tent.
Alright, this part of the video we're going to show you how to set up an assortment rack for your big package deals. What you have here are the 3 pieces which will actually go vertical on your legs for your tables. And then these 2 longer pieces are going to be your support beams that go horizontally on these 3 pieces here. This shorter piece will be used to kind of be a stopper for the package deal so they won't slide off the table.
It comes together in 6 pieces, and we advise that you put the assortment stand close to the road or your major traffic area so customers can see what you have, and that pulls them into your store or into your tent.
Alright, so we have the first of your 3 main support beams sitting here. This black line here represents where exactly you need to place the beam. It needs to be diagonal and to where both of these screws will line up with the board here. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and pop these in. Sorry about the noise there, and then let it go, and it is sturdy as a rock.
And do the same thing
for all the rest of them
with the other 3. And your assortment rack should spread over the length of 1 table.
Alright, so the next step, well, since you got all 3 of your support beams here, is to get the cross beams.
And be sure you're checking the level on these guys as you're screwing them into your table legs to make sure they do line up completely straight.
That makes a big difference actually, so.
Yep.
So what you're going to do is you're going to put 1 screw in each one of these support beams. You should already have some screw holes in here from previous use. Go ahead, flush it out up top. If you can finger tighten it into the hole, it'll make it a little easier. So. And what makes it kind of easier also is if you go and get the outside and then go inside with it. This one doesn't exactly have to be. I'll go and grab it from here, good sir. Thank you.
Yeah, be sure you're just making it flush against the top.
And if you have a pre-made hole, just finger tighten it in. Check yourself. Right there.
Okay.
And then now you can kind of push that down and get a good support on that.
Yep, and go back in and do the one in the middle. And then you're going to repeat the exact same thing with your 5th piece right here, doing it about halfway down the rack.
Alright, so this is your assortment stand put together with all 3 of your support beams and your 2 horizontal cross beams. As you can see, if you want to pull on a little bit, it's really sturdy, so it's not going to go anywhere, especially with the weight of your tables. And this next part and the last part of this is actually putting this stopper beam right in the middle, so give it a little bit more space out here on the side, and it's going to stop your packages from sliding off into your heavyweights and knocking them on the ground. So we'll go ahead and screw that in. Probably just 3 will do, 2 at the end and 1 in the middle there. Let's actually move it up, probably just a little bit more right there. Leave enough room, okay, for your heavyweights, so you don't have, they won't be knocking off there. It's probably price stickers too.
Yeah, a lot of times with these assortment stands, guys, we put them up and put the biggest things like your absolute power and your detonator and your big things like that on it. You can also put some more loadables on it, like your Goliaths, your Excaliburs, your Exterminators on it as well, because those are the things that bring people into the tents, the big stuff. But be sure you're leaving enough space in front so you can use the table space to put the heavyweights in front as well as the price stickers.
One in the middle, and then we will be done.
Alright, so this is it for putting together an assortment stand in 6 pieces. Just be sure you're putting enough screws for support in them. And this is the last piece before you go into putting your bunting up and laying out your stock.
Alright guys, so the next part we're going to show you how to do the bunting for your table. So all that you'll need your clear tape that was given with the rest of the items. You'll need the actual bunting itself. And all you want to do is start on a corner and take a piece of tape, a nice big piece of tape because people will rub up against them, and so will fireworks. And tape that corner like so. If you want to reinforce it, which sometimes we do, especially if it gets windy, you can go along the back side and just tape it to kind of actually support it and help keep it in place.
Yeah, start your bunting from the gap you leave in between your tables for you to get in and out of. And one person can tape while one person just unrolls. And you can use one continuous stream of tape as you go along the table. We do go back and reinforce our corners. We find that there's the most pressure there.
And you would continue along. All you'll have to do is just pull it along all around. If you want to reinforce it as necessary, but it's very simple. And with the extra bunting, you can also do the insides if you want to hide some of your product that you have, but you can definitely put it to some great use, and it's super easy.
Yeah. Okay guys, so after you get all your tables put together, you'll notice we give you a couple of extra 2x4s. And if you use those just underneath your table legs, you can create extra shelf space. Remember, you can't put any fireworks on the ground, no cardboard boxes or anything. So go ahead and throw that other one underneath there too, if you will, please.
Same place?
Same one.
There we go.
And that creates a bit of a shelf space for your back stock of fireworks. So you don't want to open absolutely everything, especially if we give you cases of stuff. You need some storage space. And if you need any extra 2x4s, just ask for them. We also, you may or may not have a few extra table legs left over. You can also throw these just underneath your tables to create some shelf space as well. Alright guys, so after you get all of your tables up, continue on with that bunting. Just have one person unrolling and one person taping all the way down. You want to make sure you cover the entire table. And be sure you're reinforcing that in the middle of that extra table leg like we showed you earlier to make sure your tables are sturdy. Alright guys.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed our little tutorial on how to put tables and legs together, and we hope you all have a wonderful and successful fireworks season. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please call Surefire Fireworks here in Lebanon, and they'll be happy to assist you in any way they can. Thank you.
Take care, guys. Good luck. Make money.